What's going on, guys? So we have a very special episode today. Since it is the last 2 weeks of the year, I will not be trading my personal account. I will not be sending signals to my signal group. We're going to take these next 2 weeks to up our funding using prop firms. So I'm going to go ahead and buy a couple accounts here. And we're going to see pretty much how much funding I can get within the next 2 weeks, if any at all, of course, by trading my strategy throughout the course of the day. So let's go ahead and see what happens. All right, guys, so this is the prop firm I'm going to be using. It's called Apex Trader Funding. Although I'm not the biggest fan of their trailing drawdown and profit targets, they're extremely cheap right now in order to purchase account. As I normally don't trade these last 2 years of the year, so I figured what better time than to have some fun and try to get fucking funded with you guys, you know? So check this out, yo. Using that code, it goes all the way from $200 for a 100K account to 41 bucks. Now, one thing I forgot to mention and almost messed up is if you get a 50K account, let's just go ahead and fully break this down for you guys. So if you get a 50K account versus a 100K account, which I'll show you right down here, it's actually easier to pass a 50K account. So as you see, for a 100K account, you need to make 6%, but your trailing drawdown is only 3%. However, on the 50K account, you also need to make 6%, but the trailing drawdown is 5% versus the 3%. So a lot easier to pass. And so I'll just buy multiples of these than the 100K account. So we're setting ourselves up for obviously better progression. So let me go ahead and buy this. We'll kind of skip past this part, and then I'll buy another one because we want to start out with the 100K today, and then we'll get moving from that point. As soon as I find some shit, we'll get right into it. And so you can see on a 50K account, it's $30, bro. $30 to try to up funding by an additional 50K, you know? So let me go ahead and put my credit card information in, and then we'll go forward from there. All right, y'all, so we just got the first one at 651. It is currently 652. And grabbing the next one. And boom, we got our second one. So 653. And then it's 653. I got till tomorrow before this discount ends. So I figured I would just pass like 100K at a time and then stop. But we only have till tomorrow before the discount ends, and I want to acquire 500K more funding within the next 2 weeks. Obviously a bit overzealous, you have to pass 10 accounts, and I'm only doing 2 at a time, but bro, we gotta get the discount, fam. So I'm gonna buy the rest of those, so I'm gonna make sure we get it, but we're still only focusing on 2 accounts today, so give me a second. All right, y'all, let's get directly into these charts. All right, y'all, so I was just thinking about it. I mean, bro, I kind of got to get a little risky here. I mean, I only got 2 weeks. I got 10 accounts to pass, which is a lot of 6%. Think about it, 6 times 10, 60%. Whoa. Not true, 30%, because we're doing 2 at a time. Maybe if we do 3 at a time, that would be like 20%, 20, 40, 60, 20% in 2 weeks. Shit. So I'm gonna get a little risky as far as not just waiting till session open. Obviously still going to trade the same instruments I trade, but let's have some fucking fun with this, bro. Instead of just being conservative as I usually am at a trader, because that's what tends to keep me in being in the green, is by being very conservative with everything that I do, making sure that rules line up 100% of the time. There is no how I feel today type of trading. That's going to change a little bit over the next 2 weeks so we can really hit our goals. So not stating that I'm going to trade emotionally, just stating I'm potentially going to trade out of the times I trade, and I'm potentially going to trade out of A+ setups. You know, I throw some C, B+ setups in there. So going to make this as interesting as possible, not only for you guys, but for myself, at least for me. It's fucking boring to trade challenge accounts. You know, obviously you can't make anything of it until they go to the funnest stage. So just wanted to give you guys a little update of, let's get a little fucking risky. I'm going to make some coffee right now, but it's not normal coffee. It's coffee with lion's mane mushrooms in it, which means that I'm gonna be able to be high as fuck and trippy as shit while I'm trading, which will obviously expedite that learning curve because I will be high. Just kidding, yeah. All right, let's get into this coffee, and then let's get into these charts. All right, y'all. So most of you know I am doing my teeth. I got Invisalign. And in that journey, I decided not to fucking drink coffee for a bit because once I'm done, I'm gonna be whitening my teeth, and then I'm gonna have teeth that you guys can't even. You're gonna be fucking blinded, you know. But in the meantime, until I get to that point, man, I brush my teeth 3-4 times a day after every meal. They tell you to. You have to floss 3-4 times a day, and so, you know, the things are pearly. As soon as I'm done drinking coffee, I'm brushing my teeth right away. And while I'm full time vlogging, while I'm training for a marathon, while I'm trading, while I'm still trying to run a business and enjoy the holidays, man, you need some caffeine, a little bit more than the pre-workout, obviously. So got back into coffee, and what that looks like is boil hot water, which I got sitting over there. I put water in it. I got a filter in here. There's holes at the bottom. Let the water in. Fucking drip into it, right? Very nice, very hippie, very right up my fucking alley. But the 15 minutes it takes, 10 minutes it takes to boil the water, and then the extra 5 minutes it takes to put it in here, obviously is not the most productive as to what we're trying to do right now. And so I'm going to get a coffee maker end of day. Shout out to my editor for all that shit you've been talking about me not having a coffee maker. We're switching it, bro. But let me get into this thing, and then we'll get into that money. All right, y'all. So in this very first trade on US30, just kind of want to show you guys what I got going on here. So first of all, you know, we are sitting in this 4-hour order block, this 4-hour demand. And so going to lower time frames, we really kind of want to see the reaction that we're getting from the zone. But right off the rip, there's already so much confluence sitting at this area. You know, we have that nice little 4-hour demand. We have a nice little support that's forming. How do we know that it's a clean support? Well, this is 4-hour time frame. This is a 4-hour support. Okay, so going over here to the left, so kind of push it over. We have support, then we finally break. Takes a lot of momentum to break it, not just on the downside, but upside as well. But every time we revisit it, we either retesting it or take a lot of momentum to push back. So now going into the future, well, lo and behold, we have a very nice reaction coming off of the support that is also 4-hour demand. So going to lower time frame and see if we can kind of participate off of that and potentially look to take price up to this next resistance at the 400 level throughout the course of the week. Again, this is the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so going down to hourly time frame right away, well, we see another form of psychological support resistance, which is in the form of a trend line. Okay, well, how do we know it's valid? Because we have multiple taps of this trend line. One sitting all the way up here. We got 2, we got 3, we got 4. And so now the 5th time, as I always tell you guys, I always see support and resistance, psychological or not, as a brick wall. So more often than not, the more times that we revisit that brick wall and hit that brick wall, it is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And at some point, it's obviously going to break. So giving confluence with that 4-hour demand we're sitting in, giving confluence with that 4-hour support that we're sitting at, this final break above this trend line looks pretty fucking healthy for it to continue on in that direction. You know what I'm saying? So when we go to lower time frames, we're really just trying to find some type of entry to get in as price continues higher, as we're quite bullish for the day. Okay, and so going down to 15-minute time frame, we have kind of this clean resistance that's forming. If you push it all the way back to the left, there's been multiple times where this area had a really tough time breaking above, and now we finally got that nice clean push back above. Okay, so more so looking for a couple things. Number one, just waiting for a revisit of this area. Obviously, we have this entire picture as to what's going to happen, which is price continuing higher. Is what we believe, at least. You know, that's our consensus. So either come all the way down to tap into this trend line, come all the way down to tap into this resistance, now turn support, and give us some type of entry. Great. And if not, you know, we have about an hour before session opens. So if we don't end up getting anything that looks good from that point, we'll go ahead and just switch directly to volume trading at that market open, which would be simple. You know, we have a resistance sitting all the way up here. We have a support that is forming all the way down here to potentially look for a short. But, you know, just because of what I got going on lower time frame. And I wouldn't mind if price came back down, first of all, to revisit these lows before pushing higher. You know, we obviously get a lot of consolidation in these 4-hour zones. Usually it's not tap and go, as there's a lot of buyers and sellers sitting in those areas. But Given the reaction we've already had off of it, looking that we're already starting to create bullish momentum on lower time frames, really would like to buy this market up instead. But we don't got time for A++ setups. We have time for all types of setups. So whatever gives us the setup first, we'll go ahead and execute, and definitely going to be taking our first trade today. All right, y'all. First trade was a nail. We hit about a 1-to-1, and then price pushed lower. So we got session open now. Still have that bullish mindset, okay? And so if we were to push above these highs here, we'll definitely execute, but just kind of waiting to see what happens at this trend line, as I don't want to wait all the way up until we push up. Oh, it's only 50 points. We're good. So let's go ahead and wait for a break above these highs. We may get a bit risky as we got news soon. And again, we got a ton. Since we're only risking 0.5% per trade, like we got room to play. You know, session is open, fam. And now it looks like we're pushing lower, which is okay. Still don't believe in these sell-offs. And just so you know, I won't be taking a trade if we break below lows, because I don't lose money the same way I make money within the markets, which is liquid grabs, the previous session lows. So a lot of the times, all of London buyers, their stop loss is obviously sitting at an obvious point, which is going to be at the swing point. And so if we violate those lows, that is not a direct shot for me to go ahead and sell off, as a lot of times there's a ton of buyers sitting down here because they know those stop losses are being removed, including myself. That's one of my setups. So if we can get that grab, still lining up with our bullish bias, we may be able to take buys a bit prematurely. But if not, probably just going to wait until we break above these highs. We just got into our second position, just on the same basis. Okay, we've already grabbed London lows just now. And obviously we have an extremely bullish presence in the markets. At least we want bullish structure, understanding what's going on in higher time frames. So as soon as we swept those lows and pushed back higher, I went ahead and executed the trade. Gave myself a bit bigger of a stop loss instead of the 25 points, just to give it time to breathe. But absolutely didn't want a whole 70 fucking point stop loss today. So what is currently happening? We're having a tough time breaking above this level here, which I'll show you guys, having a really tough time breaking back above this 880 area. And so, you know, one of two things is going to happen for us as far as what we're going to do. We're either going to lose this position because it comes up and takes us, you know, takes out our stop loss. And if we break below this 43,800 level, I'll go ahead and execute sells as my bread and butter setup. But if we continue on higher and start to push from this point, now especially that we have that newfound resistance, I'll go ahead and execute probably my last trade as far as the setup goes until we get new structure, sitting above these highs right here with that same bias of just wanting price to push higher. So if we do scale in from this point, and let's say both of these trades hit what we want, which is obviously a 1 to 2, it's damn near at the same exact TP, as I'll just use a 25 point stop loss with this one, putting a lot of respect on volume and not so much price action, okay? Okay, so we just filled now our second position on this account. Well, I guess third position on this account, but scale into this position. So if we were to go ahead and take out stop losses, I'd remove myself right away. I mean, this is very risky to scale in quickly, but if not, we'll go ahead and continue on. Putting up about $1,000 now. We can only lose the scale in. I won't allow us to lose that first initial position. I would remove myself. Okay, as a matter of fact, as soon as we hit that 1,500, man, let's just start the challenge positive here. As soon as we hit that 1,500, we'll go ahead and remove ourselves. We're at 14, 1435, 15. Order filled, man. So if we go over to our positions here, let me just open this up. Be a little bit soft with it, you know. We got plus $600 on one of the accounts and plus $300 on the remainder. Because remember, I didn't get to execute on all of them because I was kind of slacking. You can see we're up a little over 1%, including our losses, and that's fucking going to be morning one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run to the gym right quick, get that little workout in, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna trade afternoon session and see how much further we can go with this. But we're only halfway towards our goal. The job is not done. Let's get the fuck up out of here for morning session. Solid day. 3 trades, 1 setup. First setup lost, second trade dubbed, third scale-in dub. All right, we out here. All right, y'all, so Russian. Had a fantastic day in the gym, as I always do. But we got afternoon session literally in like 20 minutes. So got about 15 minutes of a run done after my workout. I fucking stopped it. That's why I'm sweating tall shit. I didn't go to the sauna. I dipped right to the car and we're cruising home and we're about to get this motherfucking money, Jay. We got a challenge to pass, bro. And if not pass, we at least got to hit that 1,500 mark before we call it quits. So to be continued. I'll be back home soon. All right, y'all, and just like that, we are back in the building. Let's go ahead and see what we can do for this afternoon session. Sweaty and all, man. No shower done. Raw and uncut. Cheers. Let me take off the battle armor. We going in raw today. We don't need no armor when we got ZenLab Blueprint, you know? Get into it. And so we have 2 options. We can either execute early, you know, playing off the point, well, price is obviously slowed down right here. They really don't want to continue this price lower, and we can expect that push up, you know, potentially open up our stop losses to, yeah, maybe a 40, 50 pip stop loss, obviously chasing these highs up here, and then we're off to the races. Or we can wait, you know, we can go ahead and wait for a push up, a retest, and then a continuance higher. But unfortunately, that's not gonna happen right now. That's the route we're trying to look. So I'll be patient here. We'll kind of wait and see what happens. Once I get into something that makes sense, you know, or get closer to something that makes sense, I will let you guys know. But as of right now, I mean, come on, bro. No matter how much we want to trade, we can't trade in this fucking area. It's not telling us anything at all. It's not showing us any direction at all. It's just genuinely ranging sideways. Okay, so we'll see what happens and we'll touch base here soon. Listen, man, this is untradeable territory. I'm doing my best to reach these goals, obviously, but if it ain't there, my brother, it just ain't there. We're gonna go ahead and call the afternoon session a dud, which is unfortunate because that means that I missed a solid sauna time for no fucking reason. Anyways, tomorrow, you know, if we hit the way we would like to hit and still keeping up with our goals, tomorrow we gotta pass 2 accounts. So we gotta get a little bit crazy with it. Maybe I'll trade London, maybe not. We'll see. But that's the end of the vlog. See you guys tomorrow. Another beautiful day in the markets.